Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. Here we are, it is almost the end of March now. This is a TRF led ride. It's a monthly social ride and we're joined here in Yarm High Street. I'm not leading the ride today. I've opted to stay in the middle of the pack as we were. Leo is our ride leader and as you can see around us we've got quite a good attendance today. And one thing that is for sure, I don't know what's going to happen. You guys don't know what's going to happen. So as always, grab yourself a brew, grab yourself a beer and come with us on this week's Biking Buddies Motovlog. Let's cue VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison, what's your pleasure?
Okay then folks, so that's the titles out the way. Let me explain as always in a little bit more detail what we're up to today exactly. So as I mentioned there in the intro, this is March now. It is a monthly social ride with the TRF. I have opted to be in the body of the pack today, so we should get some fairly dynamic footage of the other riders and the rest of the group as we go through. Leo is the bike way off in the distance there who is leading, and we are focused in the North Yorkshire Moors National Park today. We've got a beautiful forecast as you can see, nice and sunny, a little bit on the cooler side, but that's a good thing given that we're off-roading, so our bodies will be getting a good workout as we go through. I've got no idea of the route. It is focused on an ADV ride, so the majority of the bikes, if not all of the bikes with us, are ADV bikes today. So let's see what happens as we go through this fantastic TRF monthly social ride. So the first one of the day, there's nothing like an opener like a water crossing. Hopefully it's not going to be too deep. This is the ford in Stokesley. I kind of suspected Leo was going to throw this one in. He knows I'm not a fan of water crossings. I've done this one a couple of times. It's not overly deep, that said, but it is a little bit on the longer side. Looking at that, the water looks absolutely fine today. So, the opener is a water crossing. Let's see how we get on. Thank you, Leo. And let's see the rest of the group through. Like a boss. And Till and Charlie coming up there, Steve bringing up the rear, fantastic. So here we are just finding ourselves on these little tiny link roads, these little back road sections, and as I've said in previous videos, I do include little pieces of these. You can see from the weather that we've got around us, it's nice and clear on the tops, the cloud cover is exceptionally high, which is good, and we're just coming onto our first real trail, our first proper trail. The water crossing wasn't really a trail as such, that was actually in the town centre. And this is the one that we saw in the previous video that was blighted by fly tipping, and thankfully when I came across here last week doing the Big Skies panoramic views video, we could see that that fly tipping had long gone, which is fantastic. And here we are, the bottom of Ingleby Greenhow. just being very mindful past the horses here. Good morning. Thank you. Is a monthly social ride. I'm sure that the video is going to turn out to be reasonably long, but I am going to try and cut in the sections that that are mainly the trail riding. That's what we're here for, just bearing in mind that this is an ADV focused ride, and it's primarily aimed at the easier section of the ADV ride as well. So I believe we're at the bottom of Coulson Banks now, which is the trail that stretches off to our right, just up ahead. Quite a bit of equestrian activity here as well, so we've got to be a little bit mindful of that as we go through the little splashette. At the bottom, a few gates to navigate, so I'm sure we'll get a little bit of rear footage from rail cam sat on the back of the bike there. And up we go, climb, 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 up Coulson Banks. It's incredible just how dry, relatively speaking, that the trails are compared to how they've been in recent weeks. Very welcoming indeed. I really must get round to changing the tyres up on this bike. For trail riding, I think they are pretty much done and dusted, about 5,000 miles out of the rear, which I don't think I can certainly complain at that. Road legal wise, yes, more than legal, but yeah, they certainly struggle when the going gets a little bit wet. Rocks aren't too bad, but the wet, yeah, they're definitely showing the end of life. It'll be interesting to see on Coulson Banks just how our repair work has fared with the rain that we've had of late. So pick a rut, stick in it and ride it. Looking good. The trail is looking good. It does suffer a lot from runoff, does this trail? An awful lot. Fantastic stuff. All very good. Right, just a little halt in the proceedings there. Here we are high up on Danby Beacon. Let me just get a little bit of round footage of the group. Quick rest up, leg stretch, etc. What an absolutely beautiful day we've got. Unbroken sunshine all the way through. Fantastic stuff. So we've got the nice steady fall off Danby Beacon down the trail to Leelholm, and then we've got a new to me trail coming up, which is the water crossing that crosses the River Esk. I've never done it before. I've seen it a few times, I've looked at it quite a few times, but Leo, he's going to take us over there today, so it'll be an interesting one. Okay, so this is the start of, well, it's not really the start of the lane as such, but we're just working our way out of the village. Beautiful day, as you can see. Little bit of trepidation setting in, and that's kind of healthy in one respect. Just new trails, and I guess that's what the TRF is all about, exploring new trails, famous last words. But here we are in a group, many helping hands, and there's a water crossing at the bottom of this trail that I've never done. And there it is down there, the beautiful River Esk. I might not be saying that in a couple of minutes time, but at the moment it's the beautiful River Esk. So, steep descent. might actually turn out to be a steep ascent, depending on what this water crossing looks like. And there it is, the river. Faith in your hands, Leo. Faith in your hands, buddy. Aha! I see a footbridge. Oh dear me. You know, my inner me is always, oh look, there's a footbridge, there's a footbridge. But, right, I'm going to have an observe of this. Whoa! And Leo's over, not good. That doesn't bode well. Heart in my mouth, no. Here we go. Oh wow. It's slippy. I did. And let's get the rest of everybody else. I did get that on film. Sorry. That is super slippy. It reminds me of that little one at Gale. You touch anything and it's...
This is where those 3 and the 4x4 died.
Oh, that's this one?
Yes.
Ah, right, okay. I thought it was the one more down Gromont way.
No, we got swept off here.
Right. So I've got the bike, we've got the bike. You got it? You got your clutch?
Yeah, got it.
Oh, yours? Nearly there. Oh. Many hands. Nice one, Peter. That was slippy. River-esque water crossing done. Okay, so that's our water crossing done. Leo went down, as you saw, and another chap on the KTM went down, but aside of that, no real dramas, thankfully. All done and dusted. And there we are, back up at the top. Fantastic. The T7 survived. Just mentally, I'm scarred for life. But all joking aside, I'm glad I did that. I certainly wouldn't do that on my own, and I most certainly would never do that in anything more than the water levels that we had. That's about the maximum that I would be comfortable with. So let's find the rest of the group. Tiny little Shetlands there, they were gorgeous. Okay, so here we are at the Cycle Hub, halfway through the day's proceedings. The groups are just falling in behind us there, as you can see, an astronomical amount of bikes, and I'm sure that's to do with the weather as well, just pulling everybody out. Our group, incidentally, is this set of bikes here in the front, and then we've got the enduro bikes that have been joining in with various groups, and the latest set just pulling in there behind us. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I've just seen they're incredibly busy at the Cycle Hub today. We're just amassing post-lunch. So this is our group just extricating itself from the plethora of bikes that we've got buried in there. Very, very good to see so many bikes out. Obviously the weather's helping quite clearly. But that aside, it's certainly good to see how big and how popular this ADV sector is. Even though the T7 is sat plumb at the front there, this isn't my ride, as we've seen. This is Leo's ride. So we've got a couple of newbies joining our group today, namely the Africa Twin at the back there and the CRF. So hi guys, very good to see you folks along as well. And here comes Leo, and let's get ourselves underway. It's always worth just flicking the camera on every now and again, just for these incredible views that we get. I know we talk about Rudland Rig a lot, and I know that we're going to see that later by default. We have to, of course. But tumbling off Blakey Ridge here, we are pretty much pointing dead south across the national park, and we're looking towards the Vale of York and beyond. Way beyond. We can see the power station right off in the distance there. I think that's something like a good almost 80 plus miles away. And sitting in the group as I am now, you can see this snaker bike in front of me. It is absolutely fantastic. What a buzz and what a feeling. And as I've always maintained, it is worth just including little snippets of these road sections, just so that you get an overall feel of what it is like to be out on these TRF monthly socials. Fantastic stuff. So let's get back into the dirty stuff. And I do believe there is another water crossing that I made reference to in the last video, and I'm fairly sure it is up Leo's sleeve. So those that watched my last video, you will have seen that this is the inauspicious little descent that links us, transitions us very nicely from the central part of the national park across to the more western side. And there's absolutely nothing challenging about the trail whatsoever, as we saw in the last video. But as I did mention in that last video there, I was fairly convinced that Leo would take us through the water crossing, and given that the water levels are relatively low, I am utterly convinced now that that is going to be the case. There is a very nice, perfectly usable bridge that goes across, but I think today, probably famous last words, we've done 3 water crossings so far. I'm going to give it a bash. Wow, this is deep. What am I doing? Just give me 1 minute. Get my breath back. There we are, there we are, there we are. Right. Yeah, baby. What was I thinking?
Well,
what was I thinking?
I'll follow you through. And I think just started to wobble, I thought, maybe I fucking would.
Yeah, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Thank you, Leo. You had the right idea. I hate them. Absolutely hate them. I know. Oh well. Hey ho. Gilmore back lane, baby. Hopefully we'll get there before this traffic does. Let's stick right across. There we go. So, water crossings. Yeah, I think once again, thanks to Leo. Yep, I have most definitely broken my duck. I must confess though, that last one, it was a lot deeper than I was expecting, and I did get halfway through it, as if you've seen there, and mentally I was thinking, oh my life, what on earth am I doing? I was as close to thinking that the bike was going down as ever. Boulders, slippery, etc. But we're through. We are through. Does that mean that I enjoy water crossings? No, I hate to tell you, but no, I absolutely do not enjoy water crossings. But it certainly has allayed a little bit of the fear, certainly in the drier conditions, that there are a few that I can do. And we're riding in reasonably large numbers, so we're keeping the pace to something very respectable and something very sensible. But what is quite nice, and that's certainly looking at the trail of bikes in front of me, is for the first time this year, I do believe, we're contending with dust. Certainly on a clear day today, as we've got here, this really depicts just the wide open emptiness of Rudland Rig and the general flavour of the North Yorkshire moors, really. It's incredible riding in a big long group as we are, despite the dust, but it certainly does look very good indeed. Good afternoon. We've got the trail stretching out in front of me, bikes stretching out in front of me, and a few bikes stretching out behind me there as well. Absolutely amazing. And on such a crystal clear day, I mean, look at these four views. It really doesn't get much better in terms of outright views than this. And when we tumble off the top, as we know, looking down towards the Cleveland Vale, the view is going to be quite spectacular today. Okay, hopefully the batteries are going to last the day out. See you later, folks. And away we go. So we got a bit of rail cam going on as well. I'm not entirely sure how much we're going to see for the dust, but we'll give it a whirl all the same. Lid cam, hopefully we'll catch those stunning views off the front when we start to make our descent and we pick up the Tees Valley. It's been an absolutely incredible day. It's not over yet, not by a long stretch. I'm not entirely sure where Leo's going to take us at the bottom. I've got a distinct feeling that we'll do Ingleby Greenhow again, and we'll most likely finish through the water crossing at Stokesley, but let's just see. I am looking forward to the view coming off the top here. That will be something else indeed. And not only for the view, but also the spectacle of having the snake of bikes in front and behind as well as we make our descent. I am just hoping, I flick the cameras on at Bloworth Crossing there, I am just hoping I've got enough battery life in the two to see us to the bottom of Bankfoot. Look at this opening up. We've got a nice clear day today as well, which is fantastic. The sense of elevation you get up here is just second to none. Look at that, just well worth it. And Leo has certainly read the weather conditions, and we're coming off afternoon, so we've got the sun just slightly behind us now, and that obviously affords us the better views. Look at that, on top of the world. So just respecting shared spaces, we saw this lady cycle up whilst we were just having a momentary rest at Bankfoot there. She's done incredibly well. Standard bike, it's not an e-bike, but one thing for sure is she is going to enjoy one amazing descent when she gets off this point directly in front of us, that is for sure. Dun dun, look at that. Would you just look at that. Every time, it gets you every time, you never ever get tired of it. And what better way to round the weekend off before we dive into the weekend week with a TRF social ride. Absolutely incredible, what a day it has been. Down to the bottom we go. Oh, beautiful dappled shade. Man alive, spring has most definitely sprung. Not springing, has sprung indeed. What a day, look at this. It just sets you up for the week. And we're almost done and dusted, I do believe. Ingleby Greenhow! Interesting how this featured on the closing sections of the last video as well. What a beautiful place, what a beautiful day, and what an absolutely fantastic ride that it has been. All credit to Leo once again for leading us on a superb ride. Closing sections still to do. Knowing Leo, I'm fairly sure it's going to involve some water. If we turn left here, it will involve water. And it's going to involve water. Nice one, Leo. Now it's kind of ironic that here we are, you know, in the spring. I've got Leo as a ride leader, Peter second in the pack, as you can see in front of me at the moment, and these two fine gents are the two gents that I very first rode with the TRF. All that time ago, and they've very definitely looked after me and continue to do so. And it's nice just to be out with them today, enjoying these lanes and enjoying these trails. Right then folks, so here we are in Yarm, done and dusted. Huge thank you to Leo once again for leading the ride. Absolutely fantastic. Baptism of fire. I think I've well and truly broke the duck of water crossings. Do I like water crossings? No, absolutely not. Hate them. Will I continue to do them? Let's just see how it goes. So yeah, our group is dispersing now. So as always, if you haven't done so already, then please hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. And wherever you are in the world folks, whatever you're doing, keep it safe, keep it shiny side up, and we will see you for the next one. Cheers folks, bye now, bye.